I would like to bring the March 2026 meeting of the Lancaster County Planning Commission to order. Thank everyone in attendance, all our commission members, members of the public, staff. Did everyone receive their February minute packet in time to review?
Yes.
Yep.
Any changes or updates noted? With that, I'd like to make a motion to accept the February 19th, 2020 minutes as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We've got 5 public hearings tonight and 1 consideration item. Ms. Hall, do you want us to start us out with the first public hearing?
I'll pass that over to Don Gill.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Gill.
That's all right. Mr. Chairman, this is the public hearing for the update to the FY '27 through '31 capital improvement budget. You heard from the department heads last month who are making requests this year, and some of those have joined us again tonight in case you have any further questions. I also circulated by email the list of projects for FY '27 like I've done in the past and asked you to rank them and email them back to me. I got 5 responses, just got one before the meeting, but your average rankings that are in front of you are based on 5 responses. There were a couple of ties, as you'll see in those rankings, but that's the way it shook out. You need to hold a public hearing tonight, and after taking all public comment, prioritize the requests and forward a recommendation to the Board of Supervisors so that they can stay on track with their budget calendar. They have their public hearing on the overall budget at the April meeting, and this needs to be incorporated into that before we get to that level. So this item has been advertised as required by law, and other than the discussion at last month's meeting, I've had no input from the public. Lieutenant Haywood did provide a more concrete number on the transport van, which I have provided for you at your desks as well. Just a little bit cheaper, but not much, but about $2,000 and change. $2,300 cheaper than the original estimate.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Gill? Any other squawking or anything that we should be aware of between departments, or, I mean, no changes or anything like that?
No, I did communicate with the registrar because there were some questions at last month's meeting about the poll pads and what they used before. And these poll pads were purchased originally in 2017. It's basically an iPad that the poll workers use to check in voters. And what they used prior to that was the ledger books, where they had to physically turn the pages, you know. And these poll books are now close to 9 years old. They've just lived out their useful life, and they need to be replaced. And that's not, I mean, technology these days replaces itself quickly. And something 9 years old is more than likely out of its useful lifespan.
It's by design.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's by design.
Absolutely.
For sure. Did you guys get a chance to look at the public get a chance to look at the?
No, they haven't seen that.
Okay. Well, no surprises here. If we got no comments or anything, I'll go ahead and take this opportunity to open up this portion of the meeting for the public hearing. And if anyone would like to come forward, I'll just ask them, please state your name for the record. And district, if you know it. Glenn, do we have anybody online?
No, sir, Mr. Chairman, we do not.
All right. No sense in dragging this on. We'll close this portion of the public hearing. Can we get a, you want us to do it all at once, or do you want to do them at one time, I think?
Well,
One at a time?
figure out your ties, and then make a motion to forward this to the Board of Supervisors as ranked.
Well,
Can I ask a question?
yes.
I was just wondering for the 2 items that are tied for 4th and the 2 items that are tied for 7th, on each of those, can you tell us like which one of the ties for fourth ranked higher on the most recent input you received.
Yeah, good point.
Oh, okay.
Does the most recent anonymous input change our order at
Let me
all?
see.
Because I'd like for everybody to at least have a say.
Based on this one, the elementary school air handler replacements would score higher than the transport van.
So we would take 4 for the air handler, is that correct? Mm-hmm. And move 5 for the sheriff office inmate transport van? Okay.
Hey, quick question, guys. I missed the last meeting. Exactly how many prisoners do we transport a year?
You'd be surprised. Was
Is
it
it a
in
lot?
those minutes? I didn't see the specifics.
Yeah, I don't know that they gave a number of transports per year. The problem, I think, is that they can currently only transport one at a time in
At a time,
a
okay.
patrol vehicle. And sometimes they have to transport more than one to a jurisdiction for court. And so instead of taking 2 vehicles, if they had this van, they could take them both in the
Oh, so
van.
their only transportation is the patrol vehicles?
They had an older van, but I don't know if it's still in service. I think it might be broke down.
Okay.
Is that right, Steve?
That's right. And they have to go different places like Rappahannock and some of them are distant. And what they've got now is kind of old. They got it from another place, but you're right, they do have to transfer 2 people at a time, 3 people at a time sometimes. And this van right here, from what it looks like, I think you could even transport a female and a male because there's a separation in there, so you can set them on the side so they couldn't see each other.
Yeah, okay.
So,
Yeah, I was surprised how many people
I missed the last meeting, so I didn't really know what happened.
Any changes to number 7?
Yeah, let me check that out. The EMS pharmacy dispensing cabinets would outrank the server replacement.
So can we place that at 6 and keep the sheriff's office,
Well, it would be 7, and
Oh,
then the
excuse me.
server replacement would be 8.
my apologies, 7 and 8?
Yep.
I'm pretty good with that. You guys have any problems with that, those rankings? You guys okay?
Yeah.
This has worked out well. Saved a lot of public back and forth, and everybody gets their say.
So I will make a motion that we forward the proposed changes to this average rankings that we just made to the Board of Supervisors with favorable consideration.
Thank you, Ms. Booth. We have a motion on the on the floor. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 2 for our public hearing, the proposed revisions to the Lancaster County Land Development Code, Part 1 zoning ordinance, Articles 14-4 to comply with the update to the applicable Virginia State Code section numbered 15-2-2311, appeals to the board. Ms. Hall.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have for you a public hearing to discuss the required changes to the Lancaster County Land Development Code, Part 1 zoning ordinance, Article 14-4. Jim Cornwell, County Attorney, recently sent an email to staff detailing the need to address language in the Code of Virginia 15.2-2311, appeals to the board, which states that any written notice of a zoning violation or written order of the zoning administrator dated on or after July 1st, 1993 shall include a statement informing the recipient that he may have a right to appeal the notice of zoning violation or a written order within 30 days in accordance with this section, and that the decision shall be final and unappealable if not appealed within 30 days. The zoning violation or written order shall include the applicable appeal fee and a reference to where additional information may be obtained regarding the filing of an appeal. The appeal period shall not commence until the statement is given and the zoning administrator's written order is sent by registered or certified mail with proof of delivery to or posted at the last known address or usual place of abode of the property owner or it is registered agent, if any. So that would be the change there. We had been sending it certified and first class. So now we'd have to get the sheriff's department to assist us if the certified mail option didn't work. To facilitate this discussion, your packet includes a copy of the email from Jim Cornwell, County Attorney, regarding this necessary update, the applicable state code, the existing county code to be changed, and the proposed amendments. This issue has been advertised as required by law, and to date, county staff have not received any public comments. Mr. Chairman, when you go to make a motion, after all the review is deemed complete and you're making that motion, we do need you to either use the positive recommendation or negative recommendation language that's on the card in front of you. This was at the urging of Jim Cornwell that we needed to add this information.
And just to clarify, this is a General Assembly requirement.
He feels that based on a recent court case,
Okay.
it would behoove us to add this language as a finding of good zoning practice or no finding of good zoning practice based on what happened in court.
Okay. No surprises. You guys have any questions? Okay. With that, we good? With that, we will open up our second public hearing for the night regarding the proposed revisions to the Lancaster County Land Development Code, Part 1. Again, if anyone has anything to say, I'd ask you to please come up, state your name for the record. Anybody online, Glenn?
No, sir.
Well, we don't have to give any directions to those folks. Then I will close the second public hearing for the night. And, again,
I'll make a motion that we forward the proposed revisions to the Lancaster County Land Development Code, Part 1 zoning ordinance, Article 14-4, to comply with the update to the applicable Virginia State Code Section number 15.2-2311, to the Board of Supervisors with favorable consideration and a finding of good zoning practice.
thank you very much. Okay, we've got a motion on the floor. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. With our new positive recommendation. Which is- All right. Public hearing number 3. We've got a proposed revision to the Lancaster County Land Development Code, Part 4, Chesapeake Bay Preservation Ordinance to comply with the required resiliency updates to the Virginia CBPA Model Ordinance. Ms. Hall.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Chesapeake Bay Preservation Bay Act and accompanying state regulations were amended to address resiliency. VDEQ has opened a final public comment period on these changes, which closed on September 10th, 2025. Based on this, they've extended the deadline for implementation of the changes. They provided us with a model ordinance to assist localities in the implementation of those changes. This model ordinance was derived from several existing local ordinances as well as current guidance, guidance documents, including the resiliency guidance, to provide a full Bay Act ordinance consisting of both existing requirements and new requirements. Providing a full ordinance allows localities to consider additional provisions that they may want to include in any updates, as well as provides context for the new requirements in a standard ordinance framework. To facilitate this discussion, your packet includes a copy of the model ordinance and a copy of the proposed amendments to the Lancaster County Code. This issue has been advertised by law, and to date, county staff have not received any public comments. They did have some changes that we made based on their comments, and there was one change that I missed and provided to you this evening, which was 6-4. They struck the final sentence. So there's a piece of paper in front of you that says PH number 3.
Yes.
And that's where it says stormwater management plan. So we used to base our code off of that 16% or less of the total site area for impervious cover. And now they want us to use something called the runoff reduction method if that parcel is over 1 acre. So we are simply striking that to comply with their requirements, and we had already added the suggested language to correct that change, which is elsewhere in your packet. So that would be the only change this evening. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Hall. Again, no big surprises from where we have been. This is, you hit the magic nail, comply. So this is basically being spoon-fed to us. so we comply. You guys have any questions for staff before we open it up? Our third public hearing? Okay, with that said, we will open up public hearing number 3 regarding the proposed revisions to the Lancaster County Land Development Code, Part 4. I feel as if I need to give directions again, but I will if someone needs. Anybody online? These are some nice public hearings. I will close public hearing number 3. You got the new verbiage.
Sure. I would make a motion that we forward the proposed revisions to the Lancaster County Land Development Code, Part 4, Chesapeake Bay Preservation Ordinance to comply with the required resiliency updates to the Virginia CBPA model ordinances to the Board of Supervisors with favorable consideration and finding a good zoning practice.
Thank you. Ms. Booth, we've got a motion on the floor with a favorable recommendation. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public hearing number 4, proposed creation of a legacy residential district, LR-2 zone, to include existing parcels currently zoned under the repealed residential apartment district R2 zoning. Ms. Hall and Ms. Pruitt.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. County staff have received feedback from the community that the repealed Article 6 Residential Apartment District R2 is affecting property owners' ability to use their properties as desired. Staff have also experienced issues with the repealed R2 zoning district, as properties originally zoned R2 were not rezoned to a different district when R2 zoning was repealed. These properties are still technically zoned R2 and must comply with the language of R2 zoning, which is problematic as the permissible uses for the repealed zoning cannot be updated. County staff also frequently field questions from real estate agents and potential buyers regarding the implications of parcels which are located in repealed R2 zones. To address these concerns and effectively enforce county zoning code requirements, county staff are proposing the creation of a legacy zoning district. A legacy zoning district is a zoning district created to manage and protect an established area that was developed under a previously repealed ordinance. No property in the county can be rezoned into a legacy zoning district. Based on this, the legacy zone district would only apply to parcels that are already zoned R2. The proposed changes are intended to alleviate the concerns listed above. The proposed changes also include the addition of street design regulations, which will require future modifications to master plans to require all street and right-of-ways to conform to VDOT standards for street acceptance, including a minimum right-of-way of 50 feet in width for connecting streets. This language is included to address public safety concerns regarding the ability of fire trucks to utilize the roads and turn around where necessary. Also included are the changes recommended by Don Gill, County Administrator, and Planning Commission members at a previous meeting. Included in your packet is the repealed Article 6 Residential Apartment District R2 and the proposed Legacy Residential District LR2 language. This issue has been advertised as required by law. At the time of the drafting of this memo, the county had not received any public comments. However, we have recently received a comment, and that was provided for you this evening. And there should be a copy of it in front of you there. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Did you guys have a chance to see the public comment labeled PH number 4? You sort of wanted to summarize that for us, please.
Sure. This comes from a resident of one of the subdivisions that is currently R2. And they had concerns about, they wanted us essentially to leave out hosted short-term rentals. And that's not something, I think the county originally had wanted to add hosted and unhosted as a use when that was originally brought before you and the Board of Supervisors for other zoning districts. So that was a suggestion that she had to try to alleviate some concerns regarding a short-term rental in their subdivision. And currently, there is a violation in that neighborhood for a short-term rental that we are in the process of dealing with in the court system. Jim has sent his letter, and so that could potentially end up in court.
Which neighborhood is it?
That would be High Banks.
That's been ongoing.
It has.
what does what does staff feel as far as removing host?
It would be the pleasure of the board of supervisors if they wanted to remove it, but I think really Jim Cornwell would have to ultimately weigh in if that would even be possible. I'm not sure that we legally can remove it as a permissible
So-
use.
So you're saying, that's what I was thinking. So basically, we shouldn't touch the way it's written right now, would be your recommendation.
That would be my recommendation, but
So this lady wants to do away with hosted short-term rentals?
right. Her proposal was that unhosted, because there's a special exception requirement, she felt like there was a level of control there. But maybe with hosted, there would not be that same level of control.
We got a directive from the state a year or two ago, which basically said that municipalities should not fool with the hosted short-term rentals,
Right.
not to change them.
So based off of guidance we've previously received from the county attorney, I think the recommendation would be to leave hosted in.
I just want to get that, the way it's written.
Yeah, I don't think we have any choice.
Okay. That's kind of what I was thinking, I just wanted to bring it up. Any other questions for staff before we open up our fourth public hearing? Thank you, Ms. Hall. Okay, I will take the opportunity to open up our fourth labeled public hearing tonight regarding the proposed creation of a legacy recreational district LR2 zone to include existing parcels currently zoned under the repealed residential apartment district R2 zone. Anyone online?
No, sir.
I would have a minimal time I've got to keep it open to. I don't think so. I've never had one before. We don't have to keep it, okay. That's what I said. Okay, we will close this fourth public hearing. And you're doing such a great job.
I'd like to make a motion that we forward the proposed creation of a legacy residential district, LR2 zone, to include existing parcels currently zoned under the repealed residential apartment district, R2 zoning, to the Board of Supervisors with favorable consideration and a finding of good zoning practice.
Thank you, Ms. Booth. We've got a favorable recommendation on the floor. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. You guys are going to have some stuff from us, Mr. Lee. In your docket. Our fifth and final public hearing for tonight is regarding the proposed revisions to Part 1 zoning ordinance, Article 1 definitions to add the definition of a legacy zoning district in consequence with the creation of the legacy residential district LR-2 zone. This sort of piggybacks. And Ms. Pruitt, sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In the previous public hearing, staff reviewed the creation of Legacy Residential District LR2 zone, which was drafted to address concerns regarding the repealed R2 zoning. Creation of the Legacy Zoning District necessitates that a definition of the term Legacy Zoning District be added to Part 1 Zoning Ordinance Article 1 definitions. Included in your packet is the proposed language to define the Legacy Zoning District. This issue has been advertised as required by law, and at the time of the drafting of this memo, the county had not received any public comments, and I shared with you and we discussed the only public comment that we received on the related previous public hearing.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any questions? This is just sort of what we just said. Okay, with that said, I will open up our fifth and final public hearing for the night. And again, I'll ask Glenn if anyone is online.
No, sir.
Last chance, guy. Mr. Bateman? Okay. We will close our final public hearing for tonight. And
I'd like to make a motion that we forward the proposed revisions to Part 1 zoning ordinance, Article 1, definitions to add the definition of a legacy zoning district in congruence with the creation of the legacy residential district LR2 zone to the Board of Supervisors with favorable consideration and a finding of good zoning practice.
thank you once again, Ms. Booth. We've got a motion on the floor with favorable recommendation to forward to the board. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, guys. Thank you, staff. Our consideration item,
Okay.
stay the course.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have for you this evening a consideration item to review and make a recommendation to the Board of Supervisors on a site plan provided by Stay the Course LLC to operate a restaurant as part of a commercial marina as required by Article 9-1-14 and before the Planning Commission pursuant to Article 9-2-1 of the Lancaster County Zoning Code. This property is identified as tax map number 35-225, consists of 6.2 acres, is zoned M1 Industrial Limited, and is located at 459 Harpers Creek Drive off of Windmill Point Road in District 3. Article 9-2-1 of the Lancaster County Land Development Code dictates that before a permit can be issued for a new use on a parcel with Industrial Limited District M1 zoning, the zoning administrator must refer the plan to the Planning Commission for recommendation to the Board of Supervisors if the land disturbance required exceeds 2,500 square feet. Based on this requirement, the site plan to operate a restaurant as part of a commercial marina is before you this evening for your consideration. The property identified as tax map number 35-225, again, consists of 6.2 acres and has industrial zoning. Let's see. Industrial zoning includes 9-1-14 commercial marina, which may include boat and accessory sales, boat storage, engine, and boat repairs as a permissible use with the approval of a special exception. Article 1 definitions of the Lancaster County Zoning Code includes the definition of a marina, commercial or club type, and this definition reads as follows. Boating facilities designed and operated for profit or operated by any club or organized group where hull and engine repairs, boat and accessory sales, packaged food sales, restaurants, personal services, fueling facilities, storage and overnight guest facilities, or any combination of these are provided. The owner of Stay the Course LLC is requesting a special exception from the Board of Supervisors. This is a consideration item and not a public hearing, so the amount, if any, of public input allowed will be at the discretion of the chairman. Tangent discussions regarding special exception approval should be avoided as those details are under the purview of the Board of Supervisors and not the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission's focus should be limited to the review of the site plan in conformance with the comprehensive plan. Staff has conducted a site plan review for conformance with the zoning ordinance, the Chesapeake Bay Preservation Act, and the Erosion and Sediment Control Ordinance. There are no zoning issues as the proposed restaurant is part of a commercial marina, is a permitted use in the M1 district if the Board of Supervisors grants the special exception request. There are no issues with Chesapeake Bay Preservation Act as the proposed restaurant will be located in the building which was previously approved as a bait snack shop and met the definition of water-dependent facility and allows the encroachment within the 100-foot resource protection area buffer. A water quality impact analysis has previously been done and stormwater compliance was achieved through the purchase of nutrient credits from a qualified nutrient credit bank. There are also no issues with the erosion and sediment control ordinance as the site plan details adequate controls to keep sediment from escaping the site. The Virginia Department of Health has previously issued an alternative on-site sewage disposal system permit which will allow up to 86 customers per day. The need for public access to state waters in Lancaster County has been well documented in the comprehensive plan for decades. With over 97% of the shoreline in Lancaster County privately owned, the ability and attainability of shoreline for public use is severely limited. The comprehensive plan encourages the use of private-public partnerships and use agreements on privately owned land to provide public access to state waters. Lancaster County entered into a public-private partnership and lease agreement with Stay the Course LLC to create a public access site at this location, providing a public boat ramp, fishing pier, restroom facility, and parking lot that will open in the near future. The addition of a restaurant by the private property owner would enhance this community amenity. To facilitate this discussion, your packet includes a copy of the special exception application, the GIS zoning map, the VDH septic permit, a sheet from the approved plan set showing the existing proposed facilities on the parcel, and the applicable county code language. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Ms. Hall. So 86 people a day, that's what the septic, that's what I mean,
That's what's been approved before any modifications would have to be done
So
to
he could,
to the system.
I was gonna say, that's,
Seems low.
to me, it seems low. How is the county doing with working with the applicant so far?
It's going very well. We have a planned opening for the 18th.
April 18th.
Yep.
Pardon?
But it's, the opening is planned for April the 18th.
So we should be sending out some notices about that soon and some invitations
So
for
the
that.
partnership is going well?
It is. The ramp is in, the docks are in, there's a comfort station that is open to the public, so it is ready to roll.
So ingress and egress and parking, et cetera, I mean, that's not our purview, I know that, but I mean, is it all okay down there?
Yes, it has a nice paved parking lot, and the road has a few improvements. There are a couple of pull-offs that are currently being added, and I think Nathan might be able to update us on that. He's here this evening.
Oh, I didn't see you back
If
there.
you'd like to ask him some
Yeah,
questions.
It's like I'm at Fenway Park.
But it's a beautiful property, so I'm excited for the
Okay.
community to be able to enjoy it.
So is the bait shop in and operable?
That was a planned amenity, so right now there is no bait shop in that location. There could be in the future, but I think for now, he's looking towards the restaurant. I'm going to let him speak on that.
I didn't see you sneak in, Dave. Hide back there.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Where do we start?
Well, Nate wants to, obviously, he's not going to run the restaurant himself, and he needs to lease.
That's a good decision.
He needs to lease it to someone, and obviously, before someone signs the lease, all of these things need to be accomplished up front. He needs a special exception from the Board of Supervisors to do that, so, and Article 9-2-1 says that if it's more than 2,500 square feet, which the building pad would be more than 2,500 square feet, it has to come to the Planning Commission first. So that's really the only reason that this is before the Planning Commission, is because of that Article 9-2-1. The special exception will be heard by the Board of Supervisors next Thursday night, and so, Nate's just trying to get all his i's dotted and t's crossed so he could get someone in there and lease it to operate the restaurant. I hope I haven't
Spot on. To
Okay.
answer your question, Mr. Chuck, about the bait shop, we're actually in operation as far as the seafood company or business buying wholesale and selling retail in the building that's been constructed, the covered unloading area over on the west side of the property, close to the boat ramp.
So the restaurant building is not up yet, or?
The septic and the plumbing and all all the infrastructure's put down. We're just, like you said, trying to get a permit in place so that, we don't build a building for no reason.
Makes sense to me. I've been snowed in too long. I haven't been down there to see what's going on by land or by,
You ought to go.
It
I
looks,
know.
it's amazing. It's amazing.
really.
Yeah.
You guys been down there? No.
Give us a couple of weeks, we'll have those pull-offs. That ride in will be even better. But yeah, at the end, it looks pretty good.
Nice. You guys have any questions regarding the? I mean, it's allowable. I mean, I think it'd be a great amenity for the community, especially since we're losing Willoughby's. Lose one, get another one, I guess. Till a new bridge comes in over there, which, that'd be something. So no public hearings needed. I mean, what do you guys think?
I think it's a good idea. We get another restaurant, plus the public gets access,
Yeah.
which the county's wanted anyway.
Dave?
Yeah, I have trouble reading the site plan, but from what I've heard here tonight, why, sounds fine to me.
Trust me, if DEQ is involved, it's straight up okay. Maybe a little bit too. Trust me, I've been there and done that myself. Okay. Excellent. Any other questions? For Nate? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, this one won't require our special new language, so.
Well, I'll tell that to Ms. Booth. She's going for for
Thought I was
the
off the hook.
trifecta tonight.
But we do need a public hearing on this, correct? Or we do
No,
not?
No.
you just need to forward a recommendation to the Board of Supervisors for their consideration.
The public hearing will be held by the Board of Supervisors next week for the special exception approval.
We're in agreement with the special session.
Sure. I will make a motion that we forward the site plan by Stay the Course LLC to operate a restaurant as part of a commercial marina as required by Article 9-114 to the Board of Supervisors with favorable consideration.
Thank you, Ms. Booth. We've got a favorable recommendation to be forwarded to the Board of Supervisors on the floor. Motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Recommendation carries. Thank you, guys. That's exciting.
Yeah, April 18th at 11 a.m. is what we said, so.
11 a.m.
April 18th at 11 a.m. What's happening?
It's a Saturday, it's 11 a.m.
Oh, that's for the county.
Yes, for the, the grand opening of the park,
Nice.
Harper's Creek Park.
We're hoping to have some seafood at the opening.
That'll get me there. We've got one more item agenda, board reports from the,
I have
Board of
been
Zoning
under the
Appeals?
weather and have actually missed the last 2 or 3 things. I really have been out of it for a while now.
do we have any zoning appeal updates that need to be addressed?
I'll let Andrea address it. I don't recall anything too crazy at the last meeting.
No.
No
Kind of the
helicopters.
same old, I guess.
Same old?
And no BZA meeting scheduled for the near future.
We have one in the beginning of April.
The beginning of April.
And we have one item on that docket.
Anything the planning commission should be looking forward for next month meeting?
Not that I'm aware of.
No,
Nothing big?
should be an easy one.
Well, it doesn't get much easier than this one. So that's a good thing. Now, see, Travis is gonna go back and think that we're getting overpaid for our work. To try to get some money back in his budget, him and CD.
I think there's one procedural item I need to bring before you all at some point that had to do with updating our code in regards to subdivision approval. We're in compliance because we're already doing what the new code language says. We just need to make it official.
Perfect. You guys have anything else to add? Okay, this meeting is adjourned.